Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting stories in modern coin collecting, the 1982 D. Lincoln penny. This seemingly ordinary coin has become the center of attention in the numismatic world, and for good reason. Believe it or not, some 1982 D. Lincoln pennies are worth far more than just their face value. In fact, one of these coins was recently sold for a staggering $1.4 million. How did a simple penny from the 1980s become so valuable? Stick around as we explore the history, the rarity, and the incredible story of the 1982 D. Lincoln penny, which could be hiding in your change jar or collection right now. The history of the Lincoln penny. Before we get into the specifics of the 1982 D. penny, let's take a brief look at the history of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the coin has seen several design changes, but it has always featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, making it one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. By the early 1980s, the Lincoln penny was a familiar sight in American pockets, used for everything from vending machines to small purchases. However, during this time, the U.S. Mint was facing a significant problem. The cost of producing the copper pennies was rising, and it was becoming too expensive to continue using the traditional copper alloy. The transition to zinc. Why the 1982 penny is special ***. The 1982 penny is unique for a number of reasons, but the biggest reason it stands out in the world of coin collecting is the transition in materials that occurred that year. In 1982, the U.S. Mint began transitioning from copper to a copper-plated zinc composition for pennies in response to rising copper prices. This meant that some pennies from 1982 were made of pure copper, while others were made with the new copper-plated zinc. For collectors, this transition created a lot of confusion, and some very rare coins emerged as a result. The 1982 penny year is often seen as a pivotal point in U.S. minting history, and because of this, some 1982 pennies, particularly those with specific characteristics, have become highly sought after by numismatists. The 1982 D. Lincoln penny and its surprising value ***. The 1982 D. Lincoln penny, produced at the Denver Mint, is where the intrigue really begins. Like most pennies from this year, the 1982 D was originally struck using the new zinc planchet, but the real value comes from a specific error that occurred during production. During this transition period, the U.S. Mint made some significant mistakes. One of the most notable errors involved the wrong planchets being used to mint certain coins. Some 1982 D pennies were mistakenly struck using the older, heavier copper planchets, while most of the 1982 D coins were made from the new zinc planchets. This error, copper pennies struck with the D mint mark, has made these coins incredibly rare and valuable. While they might look nearly identical to regular 1982 D pennies at first glance, the difference in metal content makes them stand out. These copper planchet pennies are much heavier and have a different appearance due to the composition, and because only a few examples were released into circulation, they've become a holy grail for coin collectors. The value explosion. Why some 1982 D pennies are worth $1.40 million now? Let's talk about what really gets people excited: the value. So why is the 1982 D penny worth as much as $1.4 million? It all comes down to rarity, error, and demand. The key to the extraordinary value of the 1982 D copper penny lies in its rarity. Only a small number of these error pennies were struck, and many of them were quickly pulled from circulation when the mint realized the mistake. These error coins are so rare that only a handful of them have been discovered, making them highly prized among collectors. The specific coin that sold for $1.4 million was in near-perfect condition, graded at MS-67, which means it had minimal wear and no noticeable flaws. Coins in excellent condition, especially rare error coins like this one, are worth exponentially more than coins that are worn or damaged. When such a high-quality coin comes up for auction, collectors and investors will bid aggressively, driving the price up. In this case, a lucky bidder ended up paying a record-breaking $1.4 million for a single 1982 D copper penny. How to identify the rare 1982 D copper penny? So, you might be asking yourself, how can I tell if I have one of these valuable 1982 D copper pennies? It's important to note that not every 1982 D penny is a rare copper one. Most of them are made from the copper-plated zinc planchets, which are not worth much more than their FA. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1968 Lincoln penny, one of the most interesting and valuable coins in American numismatics. If you're a coin collector or just curious about valuable coins, you're in for a treat. Stick around because we'll be talking about its history, how it became so valuable, and how it could potentially be worth over $1 million. Introduction to the 1968 Lincoln penny. Let's start with a little background on the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent was first issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the design has seen a few changes, but it remains one of the most recognizable and widely collected coins in the U.S. currency series. Now, fast forward to 1968. The 1968 penny is significant not just because it's part of the long-standing series, but because of one crucial detail. The 1968 Lincoln penny, minted in San Francisco, holds a mysterious and intriguing distinction. The minting error. A coin worth more than face value in 1968, the U.S. Mint faced a couple of major issues, one of which led to the creation of the so-called 1968 penny error. For the most part, the 1968 pennies were struck using the standard copper alloy and were meant to feature the typical Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But here's where things get interesting. The 1968 penny was initially intended to be produced in relatively high numbers. However, a mistake occurred during the minting process. Some of these pennies were struck without the mint mark, meaning they were unintentionally released as no mint mark coins. While this may seem like a small mistake, it had significant consequences for collectors and coin enthusiasts. Why is the 1968 penny so valuable? You might be wondering, why does this small minting error make a coin so valuable? The answer lies in rarity and demand. By and large, most of the 1968 pennies produced were standard issue, and they carry the mint mark, indicating they were struck in San Francisco. But only a few of these pennies, likely just a few hundred, were struck without the mint mark. The U.S. Mint never intended to release these error coins to the public, so they were pulled from circulation. However, some managed to slip through, and this is where the coin's value skyrocketed. Because of its rarity, the 1968 no mint mark penny has become one of the most sought-after coins among collectors. As with many collectible items, rarity is a key driver of value. The fact that only a small number of these error pennies exist makes them incredibly rare, which, in turn, makes them extremely valuable. The coin's journey to $1.60 million. So, how does a coin that's just worth 1 cent in face value end up being worth over $1 million? Let's break it down. In 2018, a 1968 Lincoln penny that had been struck without the mint mark sold for an astounding $1.6 million at a public auction. This coin, graded as MS-67, meaning it was in exceptional condition with minimal wear, was one of the finest examples known to exist. The coin's rarity, along with its near-perfect grade, was what sent its value into the stratosphere. It's important to understand that coin values can vary greatly depending on factors like condition, rarity, and historical significance. While not all 1968 pennies are worth millions, the ones in perfect or near-perfect condition can fetch enormous prices. Coins like this one are considered treasures because of how rare they are, and the record-breaking sale proves that some coins can be worth far more than you might expect. How to identify a 1968 no mint mark penny ***. Now that you know about the potential value of this coin, you might be wondering how to identify a 1968 penny with no mint mark. Here's what you should look for. 1. Check the obverse. A typical 1968 penny will have the obverse with Abraham Lincoln's portrait. The mint mark should be located just below the date. A missing mint mark means you found one of these rare error coins. 2. Condition. The value of a 1968 penny without the mint mark depends heavily on its condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable it becomes. Coins that are well preserved and free from heavy scratches, marks, or damage can fetch significant amounts. 3. Authentication. If you think you have a rare 1968 penny without the mint mark, it's a good idea to get it authenticated by a professional grading service. Experts at organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can help determine the coin's authenticity and grade.is. Your 1968 S penny worth $1 million? While the 1968 S penny sold F. Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins. Today, we're diving into something truly special, the 1980 Lincoln penny. This is a coin you might come across in your pocket change, but some of these pennies are worth a staggering amount of money. We're talking potentially up to $1.2 million. Sounds crazy, right? But trust me, it's true. So, in this video, we're going to explore the value, history, and what makes the 1980 Lincoln penny so unique. Let's get into it. Before we get into the specifics of the 1980 Lincoln penny, let's quickly recap the history of this iconic coin. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, front, and a wheat sheaf on the reverse. This design remained in use until 1959 when the wheat design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial in 1980. The penny featured the familiar Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which had been in circulation for over 20 years. The year 1980 marked a period of transition for the U.S. Mint as they started dealing with rising inflation and changes in coin production. Little did anyone know, this year would produce a few pennies that would go on to become incredibly valuable. So, why is the 1980 Lincoln penny worth so much money? The key factor here is rarity, and more specifically, the existence of certain rare varieties. For most coins, including pennies, their value is primarily based on the rarity of specific characteristics, such as mint errors, low mintage, or even the coin's condition. Let's break down the factors that contribute to a 1980 penny's value. 1. Mint errors. The 1980 penny was struck with a variety of possible minting errors. Some of these errors are extremely rare and can make a penny worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. For example, one of the most sought-after errors from 1980 is the 1980 double die obverse. This is a coin that has a noticeable doubling of the date and inscriptions on the front. The double die occurs when the coin die has a slight misalignment, causing the design to be stamped onto the coin twice, creating a blurry or doubled effect. These error coins are incredibly rare, and some collectors are willing to pay big money for them. The 1980 double die obverse has been sold for anywhere between several $100s to well over $1,000, depending on the condition. 2. High-grade condition. Another factor that can make the 1980 Lincoln penny valuable is its condition. If the penny is in excellent, uncirculated condition, it can fetch a much higher price than a regular, circulated penny. Pennies that have been well preserved, free of scratches, discoloration, and wear, are highly sought after by collectors. A 1980 penny in mint condition can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to hundreds, especially if it's part of a special set or has unique characteristics. 3. Proof coins. In 1980, the U.S. Mint also produced proof sets, which are specially made coins designed for collectors. These proof coins are struck with a higher quality process and tend to have a much shinier and detailed finish. While most 1980 pennies from proof sets aren't worth a huge amount, they are worth more than standard circulation coins due to their higher quality. Now, let's talk about the big money, that $1.2 million. You might have heard about the famous 1980 Lincoln penny that sold for this jaw-dropping amount. But how did that happen? It wasn't just any 1980 penny. This was an extremely rare penny with a minting error, the 1980 double die obverse. This particular coin was graded by professional numismatists, and its quality, along with the error, pushed it to the highest level of value in the coin market. After careful examination, the coin was considered one of the finest examples of this error, and it sold at auction for $1.2 million. This sale was a milestone in the world of numismatics, as it demonstrated how even a coin that's just a few decades old could carry such a high value if it has the right combination of rarity, error, and condition. So, how can you tell if your 1980 Lincoln penny is worth a fortune? Well, here are some tips. 1. Look for mint errors. The biggest thing to look for is mint errors. As mentioned, The most valuable 1980 pennies have the double die error on the obverse. Examine the date and lettering closely, and look for any signs of doubling or blurring. Asterisk asterisk 2. Inspect the condition asterisk asterisk if your 1980 penny looks brand new, with no signs of wear, discoloration. Oh, hey there, coin collectors and history buffs. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about a coin that may just be sitting in your change jar right now, the 1978 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary penny, but if you dig a little deeper, you might discover that this humble coin has a fascinating story behind it and could even be worth a fortune. Believe it or not, some 1978 pennies have sold for as much as $1.3 million. Stick around because we're about to dive into why this penny could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Do you understand the value of the 1978 Lincoln penny? Let's first take a quick look at its history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and it quickly became one of the most iconic coins in American history. The reverse side of the penny, which depicts the Lincoln Memorial, has been the design since 1959. By 1978, the coin was already well established in American circulation. The 1978 Lincoln penny was part of a time when the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies every year, and most of them were made from copper-plated zinc. The coin weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. But here's the thing. While most of the 1978 pennies are still in circulation or stashed away in collections, some of them have unique characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. So, let's talk about what specifically makes the 1978 penny so interesting. Now, most of the 1978 Lincoln pennies that you'll find are worth only their face value, just 1 cent. But if you know what to look for, you might find that some of these pennies are worth much more. The key to unlocking big value lies in one thing: error coins. These are coins that were struck by the U.S. Mint with some kind of mistake or irregularity during the manufacturing process, making them rare and highly desirable among collectors. The 1978 penny, in particular, has been the subject of some very rare and valuable error coins, and if you happen to stumble upon one of these, you could be holding a potential gold mine. Some of these errors include double die strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, and other misprints that make the coin significantly more valuable than the typical 1978 penny. Asterisk asterisk, the big find, a 1978 penny worth $1.3 million. Asterisk asterisk, let's get to the exciting part. The coin that sold for $1.3 million. In 2020, a rare 1978 Lincoln penny, struck with a double die error, was sold at auction for a record-breaking amount. The error was so distinct that collectors immediately recognized it as a coin with one of the most sought-after features: a clear double image of Abraham Lincoln's portrait. What exactly is a double die error? Well, it happens when the coin's die is misaligned, causing the design to be stamped onto the coin more than once. The result is a double or even triple image of the design elements, such as Lincoln's face or the letters and numbers on the reverse. For the 1978 penny, this meant that Lincoln's image was doubled, making the coin stand out as a rare and highly prized collectible. When this penny hit the auction block, it caught the attention of numismatists, collectors, and investors alike. The bidding went higher and higher, eventually reaching a staggering $1.3 million, proving that even a coin as seemingly simple as the 1978 penny can be worth an incredible amount of money if it has the right error or featured SO. How can you tell if your 1978 penny is a valuable one? Here's a list of the most common errors and features you'll want to look for. 1. Double die errors. As we just discussed, a double die error occurs when the design is struck multiple times, resulting in a doubled image on the coin. If you look closely at the 1978 penny, check for any doubling on the letters, numbers, or Lincoln's image. Point 2. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process. If you find a 1978 penny with the design pushed to one side, making it look off-center, that could significantly increase its value. Point 3. Die cracks. Die cracks are another form of error. These occur when the die that strikes the coin becomes damaged, leaving visible cracks in the design. Some collectors find these types of pennies highly valuable, especially if the crack is in a prominent location like Lincoln's face or across the lettering. Point 4. Unusual wear patterns. Sometimes, the way a coin is worn down can indicate a unique feature. Coins that have been damaged or worn in a way that's not typical might also be considered. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to dive into a very exciting topic that could change the way you look at your pocket change. We're talking about the 2021 Lincoln Penny, one of the most recent issues in the Lincoln Cent series, and, believe it or not, it's become the subject of growing interest and some serious coin collecting buzz. What makes this penny so special? Well, it's not just any ordinary coin. In fact, there's one particular 2021 penny that's worth a mind-blowing $1.1 million. Stick around as we explore its history, the story behind its incredible value, and how you could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. The history of the Lincoln penny. Before we get into the details of the 2021 penny, let's take a quick look at the history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny, first minted in 1909, was created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the coin's iconic image of Lincoln has become one of the most enduring symbols of American currency. Over the decades, the design of the Lincoln penny has seen changes, but the most significant changes took place in the mid-20th century. Most notably, in 1959, the reverse of the coin was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, a design that remained until 2009 when the U.S. Mint issued a series of commemorative reverse designs for Lincoln's 200th birthday. Fast forward to the present day, and the 2021 penny marks the continuation of the classic Lincoln series. Despite being a relatively new issue, the 2021 penny is already gaining attention in the coin collecting community due to some unexpected developments. The 2021 Lincoln penny. What makes it special? You might be thinking, what's so special about a regular 2021 penny? After all, in most cases, pennies aren't worth much more than their face value of 1 cent. But as with many other valuable coins, there's more to this penny than meets the eye. The 2021 Lincoln penny was produced at the Denver Mint, marked with the D Mint mark. This coin, like many others, was created as part of the regular minting process and initially distributed to banks and other financial institutions across the United States. But here's where things get interesting. While most of the 2021 pennies are worth just a cent or two, there's one particular variety that has caught the attention of coin collectors and investors alike. In the case of the 2021 Lincoln penny, the rare and valuable version has to do with an unexpected error that occurred during production. A small but significant flaw in the minting process led to the creation of a few rare pennies that have become highly coveted. These coins, due to their rarity and unusual characteristics, have quickly risen in value, with some even fetching prices well beyond what anyone might have imagined. What happened to make the 2021 Lincoln penny so valuable? The specific error that made the 2021 penny stand out involves the presence of an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be imprinted off the edge of the coin. It may seem like a minor flaw, but in the world of coin collecting, such errors are highly prized. These off-center 2021 pennies are incredibly rare, as most coins are struck properly, and errors like this are immediately identified and sorted out. As a result, finding one of these misstruck pennies is like finding a needle in a haystack. Given that only a few examples of this particular error have surfaced, it has made the coin incredibly valuable. To make matters even more interesting, one of these rare 2021 Lincoln pennies recently sold at a public auction for a staggering $1.1 million. This coin, which was in nearly perfect condition despite the off-center strike, set a record for the highest price ever paid for a 2021 penny. It's an incredible reminder that even coins from recent years can contain hidden treasures waiting to be discovered by collectors. What makes this coin worth $1.10 million? So, what exactly made this particular 2021 penny worth such a massive sum of money? The answer lies in a combination of factors: rarity, demand, and condition. Point 1. Rarity. As we mentioned earlier, the error in minting that caused the off-center strike is extremely rare. While millions of regular 2021 pennies were minted, only a few with this particular flaw have been found. Because of the low number of these error coins, they've become highly sought after by collectors looking to add unique pieces to their collections. Point 2. Demand. Coin collectors and investors alike are always looking for rare and unusual coins. The fact that this 2021 D-Penny was part of a small group of error coins has made it a hot C. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector, or just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, then today's video is going to blow your mind. We're talking about a coin that most people overlook in their pocket change, but has a surprising value in the world of numismatics. I'm talking about the 1975 D. Lincoln penny. At first glance, this may seem like just another run-of-the-mill penny, but some 1975 D pennies are worth a small fortune, like $1.5 million worth. Yes, you heard that right, $1.5 million. Stick around, because we're going to dive deep into its history, why it's so valuable, and how you might have a rare coin just sitting in your collection or pocket. A brief history of the Lincoln penny. Let's start by understanding the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent, first minted in 1909, has become one of the most iconic coins in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and it's been a staple in American currency ever since. Over the years, the design has seen only minor changes, the most significant being the reverse design. Originally, the reverse of the Lincoln penny depicted a wheat stalk, and this design was in circulation from 1909 all the way up until 1958. Then, in 1959, the design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The 1975 Lincoln penny is a part of this later series, with the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which lasted until 2008. But what's truly fascinating about the 1975 D-Penny is that, despite being part of a regular year of minting, one particular variation has captured the interest of collectors in a big way. The unique features of the 1975 D. Lincoln penny. So, what makes the 1975 D. Lincoln penny stand out? Well, like many valuable coins, the real value of the 1975 D. penny stems from a very specific error that occurred during its minting process. In 1975, the U.S. Mint was busy producing large numbers of pennies to meet the demand for small change. However, during the production of these pennies, a few of them were struck with a rare error that turned the 1975 D penny into a highly coveted collectible. This particular error is known as the double die error, which is one of the most well-known and sought-after types of minting mistakes. What exactly is a double die error? Well, it occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once during the minting process, causing the image on the coin to appear doubled or slightly off-center. In the case of the 1975 D penny, the error caused the date to appear doubled, which was clearly visible to collectors who paid close attention. This misstrike made the 1975 D penny much more interesting than its standard counterparts, and it quickly became a collector's item. While the majority of 1975 D pennies were struck properly, a small percentage of these coins were mistakenly double-struck, giving them a distinctive, doubled look. These double die 1975 D pennies are what make the coin so valuable. Since the number of these error coins is so small, they are in high demand, and they can fetch an incredible price at auctions and in private sales. How valuable is the 1975 D Lincoln penny? Now, let's talk about the exciting part, the value. The value of a 1975 D Lincoln penny with a double die error can range from several hundred to several $1,000s, depending on its condition. However, there's one specific 1975 D penny that changed the game completely. A particularly well-preserved 1975 D double die penny recently sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yes, one coin, worth just 1 cent when it was originally struck, now commands a price higher than most people's homes. So why did this specific coin sell for so much? The key here is the rarity and condition of the coin. Most 1975 D double die pennies are found in less than ideal condition, showing signs of wear from being in circulation for decades. However, the coin that fetched $1.5 million was graded as MS 67, which means it was in near-perfect condition with very little wear or damage. Coins with higher grades are always more valuable because they show less evidence of handling, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins in pristine condition. What makes this sale even more remarkable is that it's not an isolated incident. As more collectors begin to learn about the value of the 1975 D double die penny, the demand for these rare coins is rising, which only adds to their value. It's a perfect example of how an error, especially one involving such a common coin, can turn into an extremely valuable piece of history. How to identify a valuable 1975 D Lincoln penny asterisk asterisk. If you've ever wondered whether you might have one of these rare 1975 D double D